drumming. Hey, like 7, this is too drumming. Yup. I think I'm on. I think I'm live. Welcome to Starlight channel. We're gonna get right into it today. This video gonna be about um how basically, right, a lot of older people are sheeps. Let me repeat. Hopefully y'all can hear me. But a lot of older people are sheeps, like the people of the previous generation. And I'm gonna go about it, you know what I'm saying, and let you know about why I feel that way and why it is that way. But number one is, just let's do an overview. We talk about older people. These are people who are, you're looking at 70. You could say about up to 40. You could say up to 40, even sometimes 35, depending on how they grew up. But sometimes the millennials can play out either way. Like they can be like they can kind of be like the young people in the Gen Z and the younger people in the younger generation. But then again, they know how to sometimes balance it out with the older stuff too. But then you catch some of the millennials who they just mainly like the older people. But the reason why I say they like kind of like sheeps, because they're always going along with the government, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they uphold the system, and we know from a spiritual subconscious point of view, we know that it's not about anything being bad or good, but we understand the negative things that play out within the government sometimes, with lack of freedom and different things like that, to keep people minute, to keep people indoctrinated in some shape or form, so they can't get their own one two by themselves or feel independent. So the government wants to feel like you need it. We don't go too deep though, because everything has yin and yang. Everything ain't bad, but at the same time, it's like they uphold the government. So they'll hate on the young person for doing something, and basically, let's say, not quote unquote, right, quote unquote, not going with the quote unquote natural way of things, or the quote unquote normal order of things. But when you think about it, the normal order of things is only backed and supported by the government structure and what they want you to do through their way. They don't want you to get it your own way, your own unique way. They wanted to do it through their particular way. So old people don't even, they think they smart, but they don't understand that what they really doing is only upholding the governmental system. So you don't have no new ways of doing things. So you stay trapped and confined within that same ordinary routine and pattern of familiarity within the system. Now, like I said, that's not necessarily a good or bad thing. Everything has yin and yangs, but you know, let's just say let's jump to another one, right? Let's say a lot of older people in general, because everybody different, but for the most part, from a collective point of view, they tend to, like, they're never being different or creating something new. And what I mean by that is they're so used to the familiarity and looking at you for being wrong for what you do. Um, you see what I'm saying? As far as in this new age, like, oh, why you do it like that? Or that's crazy, this and that. And it's okay, because I understand if you see the difference in your generation, this generation, you're gonna point it out. That's cool. That's normal. But it really comes down to the lack of being creative and the lack of starting something new. Everybody can be a pioneer and everybody can be an initiate, but a lot of old people don't realize what they're doing. That's technically what they're doing. When they're going along with the government so much and scorning another person for doing something in a new, unique way, you're really just saying that you don't want to be different and you don't want to create nothing new. So the whole ways of jobs, lawyers, doctors, teaching, the basic jobs, the go in, go to college, you do this, you get this job, that whole way, the older people of older generations, they uphold those things. Where younger people kind of are more unique. They're followers too, but they're a little bit more unique because they do things in more unique ways. Everything is not always a similar familiarity with them. They can be unique. They can create new things and add a bit of their creativity. It's wild and unique, as weird as it may be. It's still something new that leaves a footprint in the sand that another person can have the awareness to realize that they can get it that way too. Everybody got to make new awareness. That's why I say I shout out to old people, because there's some old people that did make new stuff and do creative. But from, like, let's say, most of the time, it's like they just trying to uphold the old way that they already doing things. They don't really want to do nothing new like that. But I understand things, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but technically, like, it's like they look down on anything new that's, oh, this crazy. And I get it. Sometimes they don't really mean it like that. They just being funny, like they just joking, like this crazy mess. Like, we don't know nothing about this. You know what I'm saying? And it's not in the part of the generation, so it's new to them. It's unique to them. So it's not that they necessarily hating. It's just like they like, oh, this ain't really us. This ain't really me. This not where I come up. This not how I come from. So seeing all this new stuff, A, I don't fully understand it. Two, I'm old, so my comprehension is a little bit different. Give me grace. And then three, it's like this seem crazy to us because we're not familiar with this. So I can understand that. So that's why I say it's stuff that older people can learn from young people. It's stuff that younger people for sure can learn from older people. And I hate when you have younger people, especially of the younger generation, that try to be in situations where they try to act like they can't be told nothing and everything is washed away. And because we are in a new world. I give young people grace. I'm gonna get into their side too. But it's just like you can always learn stuff from the older people too. Take their knowledge and wisdom, apply it to your new stuff, and expand off of that. You can always use the older stuff as far as ways of doing things to accumulate more knowledge and more wisdom in your own life. So you can still go about things the way you do it in the new way you do it. But you can have that much more knowledge than everybody else. You can have the new ish and the old ish, apply it, and now you got a much more expanded mentality when it comes to life in general. But then I also don't like when the old people act like everything that the young people do is like kind of like dumb or it's like crazy because although it's still different because it's not your time. It's like I don't like when they try to look down on younger people like they all dumb and because the younger person and then listen to the older person in a particular way, they try to act like that younger person is ignorant. I've dealt with that too in my own family where like a lot of older people try to act like they're so smart and they know it all. And I get it. You have a certain level of experience that a person doesn't have. But I believe from a spiritual point of view, everybody has their own similar particular path. What got one person to the egg? If okay, say red, right? Say red got to the egg, or AKA being famous or being, let's just say, successful through doing it a particular type of way by stepping on people's neck, thrashing people. Say they actually got it, and they're allowed. They got to that point. Blue might not get to that same point as red doing that same. Everybody has their own energy signatures. Bump astrology. Everybody just got their own energy signatures in general. So blue might make it doing it and be in their favor a particular way. And if they do it in a particular way, in a particular energy, while they get to the egg or go to success, they may make it a lot faster because they're working their natural energies. Another person like yellow might need another type of energy signature, another way to do it, go about there. You know what I'm saying? Get their 1 2 1 2 in order to make it and get success in this lifetime. So I never act. I hate when people try like you only do stuff one way. A lot of older people have that mentality, like, oh, you only do it this way, and you're not listening to us. We experience it. I get it. Give people experience, but a lot of times it's the energy people come in too. People come in with negative energies. They don't be saying it all the time from a space of, like, I ain't gonna say it ain't love, but they don't be coming from an understandable point of view as far as a mutual point of view, like trying to reason and show a person why you feel this way. It's like you trying to dumb a person down and make them feel like you have to do it this way, and if a person don't listen, then you being ignorant and you say I'm this, that, and the third, and I don't really like that because the way that you do things might not favor the way I do things, and vice versa. You see what I'm saying? So that's another thing about older people, and that go back right to what I say about they go along with the government. They don't ever want to create nothing new. They don't want to be unique. It's always got to be this way. Are you wrong? And this particular go through this straight narrow path. Are you wrong? And that ain't really right. If you ask me, everybody got their own individual path. It's harder for older people to accept certain things, whereas young talk for them accept. Not really, because people will be like, oh, well, the young people, when a person don't wear these shoes and they don't wear this and they not fine, you see what I'm saying? They don't tend to accept. Yeah, that's slightly true, but at the same time, younger people can adjust. They just talk that junk and they just choose who to respect. They respect people when they in certain positions of power. But it don't matter what it is. If you got a certain amount of power, they may talk their ish, but they're gonna eventually start following it too. They could be like Gucci Mane can start wearing little handbag purses. If he rock it hard enough and get his influence enough, the younger people will start doing that too. You see what I'm saying? But not to really beat that horse too much, but it's just like I don't know. I ain't gonna get too much of the comparison per se, but I feel like when it comes to younger people, they got a lot to learn. Older people got a lot to learn. I mean, they old, they on their way out of here, but it's just like I don't like when people try to make people feel like they try to like they know it all, and it's ego. It's not knowledge and wisdom. Like you think of the wise elder that got all this knowledge and wisdom, and they trying to edify a younger brother. It's not like that. It's like you trying to act like you know it all, and if the person don't listen to you, then they a fool like that. I never really f with that like that though. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I never really f with that mentality because I feel like it just put people in a situation where you only gonna have people following what you do. It's that follow the leader type of mentality. I ain't gonna say follow the leader. It's just like that following mentality in general. Like nigga, you might leave me off a hill. I might go your way. That's why I say. That's why I say, bro. The energy that you do something that gets successful is totally different. You got to know that. That's why a lot of people don't always be successful too. You be so busy trying to take somebody else's flow take somebody else's style, take somebody else's way of doing things, going on somebody else's path. No. Listen to your own inner self. Have some type of intuition. Go about it. Listen to your own spirit and go about it that way. That way, whenever you blow up, you gonna be lit for real because it's gonna be meant for you, and you're not gonna have to do crazy things to try to uphold it because it's spiritually in your favor. It's spiritually resonating with you anyway, and it's meant for you anyway. That's the true God path. That's the spirits that got you in their favor and spirit guides and whatnot that lead you to do things in your own unique way. Because when you do reach success and a sense of prosperity, that's gonna be It's gonna be lasting. When you can accumulate stuff and it get taken away from you, a lot of times you ain't do stuff in your experience. But the reason why it ain't last, because a lot of times you don't be doing stuff in your own energy. So it manifests as not, it's spiritually not yours. And it physically manifests as literally taking place in the physical as not being yours. So you only have it in a small period of time. It's almost like borrowing something from somebody. It's not really your watch, but you got to give it back. It's like that energy, but spiritually. So it manifests like you kind of like getting like a small second of fame in your life or a small second of money and success to make you feel comfortable for a second, just for it to be snatched away from you, esoterically speaking. In other words, it's not in your hands, it's not in your favor, it's not in your grip, so you end up losing it because it's not truly you and who you are. You didn't really manifest it based upon your own state of being and your own true self and your own purpose. You manifested it by doing something else that somebody else did, so it'll never last a long time. This is why a lot of rappers these days don't last a long. And I'm just using rappers because they're the first thing that came to my mind. That's why a lot of rappers these days, because it's so flicky, don't last that long, and they only last short. It be one hit wonders. It be like a small period, 2 years of litness, 3 or 4 years of litness, then you fade away. But the ones that last a little bit longer, they usually they took that time of going through their own path a lot of time. But we're not gonna get to that. But um, shout out Michael Glasgow. Shout out again. I'll be getting out of here soon. This was a short live, but I did want to say that, and you just gotta understand that like that's how things be playing out. You see what I'm saying? You gotta. That's why I bump with the young people a little bit harder. Well, I ain't gonna lie. I bump with the young people a lot harder. The older people are indoctrinated to me, and they have good stuff going on. They have good knowledge sometimes, but a lot of that stuff is outdated. And if you truly try to apply the old stuff of the older generations, the 70, 60, 50 year olds, and you try to apply them in this generation, you're gonna fail. You're gonna fail. It's not gonna work because we in a more chaotic world. We closer into, we to be honest, we don't even know, but we closer to the spiritual realm at this point. Due to when they talk about ascension and 5D and Earth moving into space, although all those things are just allegories too, but it is a sense of dimensional space and time, and we are moving into a new age, a new wave, a new era. You see what I'm saying? Where things of the old in the past won't really hold up the same way at all, actually. You have to do things in a new, unique way. You see what I'm saying? And that's important. That's what I say. A lot of old people struggle with that because they don't know how to do things in a new way, which is fine because that's not how you came up. You see what I'm saying? But my thing is the bashing. It's the bashing of people who are not doing it the same way that you were doing it. But like I said, if you understand this video, you understand it. Shout out Michael Glasgow. What's up? How you doing? This is Samsung. No, this is not a Samsung. This is an older iPhone that I used for recording. I need to update though, of course. But as long as the knowledge is put out there, that's all that really matter. But it will be updated though for sure. But yeah, I just want to say that I'm gonna get up out of here. But I just want to say that yeah, the young people, you gotta learn to walk your own path and do things in your own unique way. Can't be trying to live your life trying to be like somebody else or trying to walk in their footsteps. Even if what they're doing is something you admire, you can still try to reach that goal, but you do got to do it in your own unique way for it to spiritually manifest in your favor the way it's supposed to manifest and work out and play out. You know what I'm saying? To suit you best. So it'll be something that's more sustainable when you do actually end up manifesting. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, I hope y'all understand the message. And much love to all y'all older people. Y'all gotta learn that you can learn a lot from the young people too. See, I feel like ignorance plays a bigger part with the older people. What brings me here? Speaking about today, we are speaking about how a lot of older people are sheeps, and I'm just breaking down between the youth and the older people and the older people's ways of doing things. But basically, when you look at it like this, like I feel like a lot of older people actually are more hard headed. You would think that you would think that the younger people would be more ignorant, which they can play out as ignorant. But sometimes I'm not gonna lie, not trying to deride or nothing, but I feel like the younger people sometimes actually be ignorant for like a certain cause. Like it do be for a spiritual cause, because individuality is spirituality. And sometimes, even though it's ignorant, sometimes just to be ignorant, it plays out as I don't want to do it your way, I want to do it my way, and that is spiritual because you do have to go down your own path. You can't be trying to go down somebody else's path. See, that's another thing too. That's why a lot of 40, 30, 40-year-olds don't always make it like that, and they struggle and they hate their jobs and their life. A lot of young people do too, but we'll get to that later. But you can't be trying to follow somebody else's footsteps and think you're gonna reach your own space of prosperity. I talked about how we are all spiritual beings and we all have our relative space in the spiritual realm. We all come from different spaces. This is why they call different things point of view, or my perspective from my point of view, because we all in different relative spaces spiritually. We're not gonna always see the things the same way, from the same eye, from the same angle, and we're also not gonna feel the same way about everything. You see what I'm saying? So we have to do things in our own individual way. Are we not going to reach our true space, aka being in the space that manifests as being in our favor, where we don't have to worry as much and things that are sustainable? You see what I'm saying? But other than that, I'm gonna get up out of here. But yeah, I hope y'all understand. Shout out Lord Strick. I'm glad to see you in here. And y'all have a great day. Much love, much love. Shout out Michael Glasgow. Everybody take it easy. Shout out Haley. I'm just getting out of here now, Haley. Feel free to run the live back. Much love to y'all. If y'all have any questions, meet me in the chat. Hit me in the comment section, and I will surely get back to y'all. Peace.